It is the road to release Out of the Park 27. The days are ticking by. We cannot wait. And today we're going to hype you up even more with a new edition this year that we've never seen before, especially to this extent. We're talking World Baseball Classic. And joining us right now with the Out of the Park Developments team is the person that's really largely behind this. It's Lukas Berger. Lukas, this is a long time coming. We've never been able to chat like this. So I'm super excited to get to chopping and talk baseball with you today.
Absolutely, Doc. Yeah, same here. We finally could make it happen, and really glad to.
Let's get to it then. World Baseball Classic. This, for the uninitiated, is this is a moment for the world's greatest players to play on one stage together and against one another. And fresh off the Olympic Games, I think we're at a fever pitch right now as far as country rivalries, pride. All of that. So how is Out of the Park in 27? How are you capturing that? Can you kind of give us some details on what to expect in 27?
Yeah, so basically, we're giving you the kind of the full WBC experience, World Baseball Classic experience, which we've never really done before. We've always had some kind of version of it, maybe not even the proper name or sometimes the proper teams. This year we have kind of everything. It's the real schedule, but more importantly, it's the real teams and the real players. So we have the licensing for the players, which is really awesome because it lets us get some guys into the game that we've wanted to get in for a while. We wouldn't be able to otherwise. And so we're really, really kind of excited about that.
Lukas, you mentioned kind of the licensing of the players, of the rosters, all of that. I mean, and this is a big step, I think, for Out of the Park too, because obviously this game took such a big jump when MLB licensing was a part of it, getting the real players, getting the real logos, all of that. No kind of like backdoor kind of working to wait for some member of the mod community to do this. And this is real authentic experience. How accurate of a representation of the World Baseball Classic are we talking here? What will it look like for us when we play the game?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it should be super accurate because essentially we have the license to all the real players. It's possible that there may be one or two that some of there's some technicalities with things, so there may be one or two here or there that we don't actually have anything able to use, but the vast majority, almost everybody. Um, and so whatever team you load up, if you play with Japan, you're going to get players from Japan that wouldn't be in the game otherwise. With Chinese Taipei, with any of the nations. And so this is a cool thing because not only do we just get to put the players in the game, but we also are going to be putting their face gens and the face gen uniforms and logos and stuff like that for the teams. The face gens may not 100% be ready by release. I'm not sure. We should have the most important ones. It may be maybe a patch or two in before we get all of them. But this is awesome because this is several hundred of the world's best players and players that may be particularly fans of just MLB don't get to see or hear about so much. But we have several hundred players that we would not otherwise be able to have in the game. You're going to be able to see their faces. You're going to be able to play with them, play against them, and really get the full WBC experience with the real players. We've tried to rate them as close as we can to real life. It's a super difficult thing because obviously the talent spread is kind of extreme. You go from your Otanis and your best judge and your best baseball players in the world to, guys, some of the Brazilian players playing in like university leagues or something like that. So it's a little bit hard to have absolutely to say, okay, we perfectly nailed the talent differentials, but we have rated everybody and they should pretty much play like they do in real life. May have some upsets and may not.
I think it's so cool because I think of it as somebody playing the game in the United States, and I'm always shocked how many people when I meet, when we're in the community, when we're talking to people who are watching coverage of Out of the Park, how many people are watching and consuming from overseas, where you are, obviously, for example, as well. That this is a chance for us, as if we're playing in the U.S., to learn more about players from around the world. And of course, that'll be happening during the World Baseball Classic anyways, but really diving deep into their profiles, their ratings, their face gens, all of that, and vice versa. I think it's really great for the countries that are participating, that those who have Out of the Park available, that they get to see that too and feel like, my goodness, we're being taken so seriously that we're an out of the park 27. It's a two-way street here.
Absolutely. And just for players, whether you're familiar with these teams or not, it gives you the chance now. You can manage the team, and the way it's going to work is you have to select the WBC at first when you're creating a new game. If you select multiple leagues of the leagues we have, you maybe have a little more choice of players from some countries. But as you sim to the first day, to the day of roster choices, which is March 2nd, um, you're going to be able to go in there, and if you've taken a team, you'll have like an initial roster selection that will be the real players that were selected for that team. You can override that if there are other players. You can select your own players, your own choices, or you can just go with the real ones. If you go in like commissioner mode, you can scroll from team to team, and you can see the roster selections from all teams, and you can actually choose that too. If you're not happy with who got picked to one team or another team, then you can change that.
Such a big part of this game is licensing and getting these players. Can you flex for us real quick, if you could, Lucas? Give us some of the hits that OOTP has put together, because the list is prodigious. There are some heavy hitters coming to 27 as far as licensing goes.
Yeah, it's not my flex. It's Rich Grisham, our CEO's flex, and he did an absolutely incredible job. The thing for licensing, I mean, especially since we had to take some leagues out of the game some years ago, we're working more and more each year. And probably the number one thing that fans are interested in for new features. I mean, there are so many new features that it would take 30 years to put them all in, but I think the biggest one that people really care about and that comes up the most is more leagues and more players, and having the licensing for that. The thing is, it takes a lot of effort. I'm not even involved so much in the nitty gritty all the time, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort to build the relationships to be able to get licensing deals for leagues or something like the WBC to happen. So Rich has done just a fantastic job with that, and then some of the legend players we could have. And of course, we're working for future years to even try to add more leagues and more licensed players to the game. So there's nothing we can say for sure will happen, but we're working really hard to try to make that happen.
Yeah, I think one of the things obviously we hear often, and you hear it way more than anybody else, is that kind of that hunger for the entire world to be represented in this. And the fact that I feel like the World Baseball Classic, correct me if I'm wrong, the WBC seems like a really good opportunity to creak that door even more, to make sure that all the leagues, all the federations are hopefully, that's the goal, to get them under the OOTP umbrella.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some guys here who we just would not be able to have in the game, period, otherwise. Like I'm not even necessarily thinking about some of the more famous ones from Japan or from Chinese Taipei or something. Eventually, we would hope to eventually get licensing deals with different leagues like that. But you have, like I said, you have Brazilian guys who are playing in universities in Japan or around the world. You have different guys who are a lot more obscure that we will probably never really be able to have in the game. And for the WBC, so you not only get the heavy hitters, the big Japanese and big Cuban and Chinese Taipei and Korean stars and American stars too. Canada. I mean, of course, I don't have to list everybody that's in the WBC, but you also get the smaller teams and smaller players that may not be so well known. They may be known in their countries, but not so well known to fans around the world. So it's an awesome stage for them in the real WBC, but also in the game.
Yeah, we cannot wait. It's another reason why we like and love Out of the Park Baseball so much. It's got its finger on the pulse of what's going on in baseball. And one of those things happening right now as we speak is the WBC, which is coming to OOTP 27. Lucas, thank you so much.
No, thanks so much, Doc. Really was great to be able to chat with you and let everyone know a little bit more about what's coming.
All right, it is coming on March 13th. Get that pre-order in right now. 10%. You'll get that discount, plus you'll get the game in final beta access 3 days early. OOTP 27.